There we are. Allan Donald is going to bowl the first over from the Umgani end. Still the prevailing northeasterly wind will be at his back, and Donald will be bowling the first ball to the right-handed Rator. Fine leg in position, no third man. In fact, it looks like now a ring of 4 slips and a gully, because there's also a backward point. Donald to Rator. And he starts with a very full delivery, which is beautifully played by Rator and is way down towards the cover point boundary. And only the pace of Herschel Gibbs prevented that from going for 4 as he hauls it in, and Rator can get 2 runs off the first ball. Very fast across the turf, this little man, Herschel Gibbs. He'll be very disappointed, playing for his place in the test side with Jacques Collis, the 12th man, breathing down his neck. He got one that was, I think, a bit high from Srinath to end his innings today without addition. And there's an appeal for a catch at the wicket, and the first Indian wicket is down. Rator caught behind by Richardson of Allan Donald, who strikes with his second ball. Well, this is unbelievable. We've had everything today. We've had a crash from the South Africans, 21 runs, 5 wickets going down, then that 74-run partnership. A lovely shot through the covers for 2 by Rator, the first ball from Donald, and now Donald replies with a lovely little away swinger. It just did enough to find the outside edge, and that's the first one down with 2 on the board. But there's quite a break here now, because I think Saurav Ganguly was caught a little bit by surprise. I'm not sure that he was completely ready to come out, hoping that Rator and Raman would be able to see things through to the luncheon interval. But Donald, as Sunil Gavaskar was saying, nicely warmed up after that innings of 26 in that partnership of 74 with Macmillan for the final wicket, and he came firing in. And although he just overpitched the first ball, and it was well played by Rator out through cover point for 2, he came straight back with another thunderbolt that just did enough to leave Rator and find the outside edge. And so Ganguly at the wicket, third ball of the Indian innings. An enormous pressure on him. And Donald with now 6 wickets in the match and raring to go. For the left-hander, 3 slips a gully and a forward short leg. And he's bowled! A Yorker! A Yorker of frightening pace from Allan Donald, and Saurav Ganguly is bowled first ball. This is sensational stuff, whichever way you look at it. Unbelievable. White lightning, Allan Donald, the fastest bowler in the world, and he proved it right there with an express delivery that went through the guard of Saurav Ganguly. What a snorter to get first ball. A Yorker at that pace on your middle stump, and Ganguly is bowled, and India are 2 for 2. Goodness me. Does this mean 2 days on the beach here in lovely Durban? Just look at that concentration of Donald, and then he lets that arm go and fires it in at the popping crease. Too late, Ganguly, to come down and somehow get it out, dig it out. Just watch that bat. It was too late. It was through, and the middle stump hit by Donald, and away he goes on his Boeing-like celebratory run. 2 for 2, and the crowd are absolutely beside themselves with excitement.
Great stroke, that really fine shot, and 4 runs all the way. So Sachin Tendulkar at last showing some of the aggression that we've come to expect of him for so long.
That's his normal way of batting, and I think he has to play his normal cricket. And this one just pitching on leg stump, but he picked it very, very early, and then he was in fine position and flicked it very, very nicely. Although it was a little bit in the air, but there was no fielder over the very fine stroke.
Sean Pollock, the man in picture, and this is what happened on the last delivery. Leading edge, flying to Sean Pollock. He would have expected to have caught that more often than not. So a chance for the Indian captain. And perhaps this is the change of fortune that he needed.
Definitely India needs some luck here.
Well, they're not getting it, this ball. Another great Yorker by Allan Donald. Very fast, very straight, and too good for Workeri Raman. He now goes, and he's the third wicket to fall. India 7 for 3.
Another good delivery. It's basically a high full toss, and then he just moved a little bit to left-hander, came into a left-hander. Raman, he played it across, and he was beaten by the pace, and Donald has done it again. 7 for 3 India.
We were talking about the pitch, and it's certainly no snake pit, as they call them here in South Africa. Allan Donald really didn't even need the pitch on that occasion. The ball passing the bat on the full. It was all pace and swing that beat Raman, and it hit the stump before bouncing. A little bit early in his innings to play like that. He's not seeing the ball quite right yet, but he really went for maximum, trying to hit a ball that was up to him off the back foot through the boundary.
I think Azhar has to be a little bit careful over here, because I think from his batting it looks that he wants to take the attack to the opposition. But maybe he got to be careful. You cannot hit each and every delivery on this wicket where the ball is seaming a little bit. So he must pick and choose the right delivery. He did the right thing here, and it was short delivery, and he was well in position and played it beautifully through covers.
Now, that was what I was getting at. You see, he timed that one. He didn't flay the bat, he just stood up, used his height, and timed it through the field. Not even a movement. He didn't even think of running. He didn't need to. He knew that was a boundary from the moment it struck the willow.
Sunil Gavaskar is one of them, and Sunil has played over 120 test matches.
What a catch! That is out of the top drawer. Gary Kirsten, he's been moved out of short leg because Adam Bacher has come into the team, and he's now dismissed the Indian captain Sachin Tendulkar. So deeper in trouble now, India, as their captain leaves the field.
Tendulkar can't believe it, because it's an unbelievable catch here in gully. Outside the off-stump, driving thick outside edge, and really flying like a goalkeeper and taking a one-handed catch in gully. Kirsten is the fielder. India losing their 4th wicket. They're losing their captain. 15 for 4 India.
4 runs, India in trouble. New batsman Rahul Dravid is taking guard, and the reason is that Sachin Tendulkar, India's captain, was dismissed for 4 by the most brilliant catch you'll see in Test cricket. Gary Kirsten diving full length to his right. A miraculous catch. That's another wicket. Azharuddin playing a loose shot for the 2nd time in the match and getting caught by, it looks like, Klusner out there at mid-on. A shot not becoming of such a good player, and he goes again off Sean Pollock this time, caught by Klusner.
The ball was not there, the foot was not there, but he wanted to hit it on the up, and a straightforward simple catch to Klusner at mid-on. Must be very disappointed with the stroke. He got out to bad stroke in the first inning, and even worse in the second.
Last ball of the over as well. India in big trouble, 20 for 5.
India in dire straits now, 5 down for 20. Mohammad Azharuddin, the last man out, playing a shot which he will not look back with any fondness.
the air, out, caught mid-off. Klusner strikes. Strange sort of dismissal on this pitch.
Break for the outs that time.
25 now for 6 India. Really quite remarkable scoreline. This pitch isn't the easiest to bat on, Graham Pollock, but I don't think it's quite this difficult.
He's there just picking up the wrong pace. Straight off the centre of the bat to Captain Hansie Cronje, and as you say, an incredible scoreline, 25 for 6.
And Kumble making his way to the wicket, well guarded there with a chest pad. Timed away by Rahul Dravid. That'll go for 4. The angle that Pollock's let that go as well from round the wicket assisted the stroke to a degree.
It's nice to have variation. There we see it, the angle deflected nicely by Dravid, but he's bowled well over the wicket, done a bit with the ball, and it's probably a little bit surprising to bowl around the wicket.
That'll be 4. Technically, Graham, I think you could be right. He opened in 1 or 2 of the test matches just played out in India, and he pretty much looked the part, but they felt that they were wasting a talent up the order there. They've had a lot of problems with who's going to open the batting and who's going to bat where Tendulkar's going to bat in the test match lineup. Azruddin seems to want to bat at 6. Maybe Dravid. 4 handsome runs for Rahul Dravid.
Change at the end of this over, we seem to have overrun on late next door.
Over.
End of the over, 40 for 6.
Paul Adams has signed a lot of autographs, and that's just about all he's had to do during this test match. But I really think they will play him at Newlands. And this is a good catch. Fine catch by Andrew Hudson at 3rd slip, and Kumble has gone. In the last over, 1 drop just short of Hudson. This time it carried, only just. Very good low catch to his left, and it's 40 for 7 now.
Well, Anil Kumble playing with a firm hand, also trying to push at it rather than allowing the ball to come onto him. And that's a fine catch by Andrew Hudson, low to his left. Anil Kumble is out for 2. In India, dire straits, 40 for 7.
Jabagal Srinath is the new batsman, and he got a real roasting when he came out to bat in the first innings, and eventually he was caught when he was trying to fend one off from in front of his face. That's a fine shot. Absolutely splendid shot from Dravid.
Well, the previous over he played a similar shot of Brian McMillan, and this time off the quicker pace of Lance Klusner, he's played it again and very well executed that, rolling his wrists over the ball to ensure that it was not hit in the air, keeping his eyes on the ball right through, which is a splendid shot.
Oh, look where he ended up, and he might be run out. He is. Absolutely brilliant bit of fielding this time by Adam Bacher. My goodness, the South African side is sharp in the field. We've seen some brilliant catches, we've seen some wonderful fielding, we've seen the stumps hit 3 times now in the space of less than 2 overs, and this was a telling reflex reaction from Adam Bacher at short leg. As Srinath, it's most extraordinary where he found himself to play the shot in the first place, way outside his off stump. But look at this, he thinks it's past. Lightning reaction from Bacher, throws down the stumps, and Srinath not even required to be adjudicated by the 3rd umpire. He's run out 8 for 51. Two runs at least.
It's in the air, way over cover, and will bounce away for 4. So he got quite a good bit of bat on it. It's pretty much, I think, something all that David Johnson can do is to play a shot or two, and Rahul Dravid just hang in there, make sure that if he possibly can, that he's not out at the end of it all, and get a bit of practice, if you like. This has gone miles in the air, but there's a fielder under it. Klusner catches it, 9 down, India. Kingsmead on their feet. That did go very, very high. Pollock's 3rd wicket.
Well, this is a typical number 10 shot. As I said, you can't blame David Johnson for having a go at a ball that he thought was pitched up to him. It wasn't quite up there, and it went very high up in the air, but very little work for Lance Klusner to do. All he had to do was to adjust his position. He did that. He's caught David Johnson, and India 9 down for 59.
In the air, and safe, and 4.
Well, Dravid once again not in control, unlike the previous hook shots where he's been right in control and rolled his wrists over it. Again, he's trying to hit it along the ground, but the bounce just a little too much. But fortunately for him, a boundary. Even if they have just about 30 runs on the board, it would have given enormous confidence to the rest of the batting. And that's the end of the Indian innings. A victory for South Africa. Allan Donald getting his 4th wicket, a simple catch to Andrew Hudson at 3rd slip. Venkatesh Prasad is the man who's out. He's tried his very best, not with the ball only, but also with the bat. He's tried to hang in there as much as possible. But he's out. A low catch to Andrew Hudson.
Well played, Rahul Dravid.